everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of 5 Minute Fridays. I'm Miranda,
And I'm Dan.
and we are definitely more than meets the eye. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. So we are streaming to YouTube at 1080p, 29.9 frames per second.
We're using PTZ Optics camera from our buddies over at PTZ Optics. It's a 20X USB 3.0.
Yep. The X-Keys mouse mat.
It's working very well.
It is.
We're using vMix Social on our Kindle Fire, so toss some comments out to us.
Yep. And of course, we are using our X-Keys XKE 124 T-bar with the video switcher key set. All right.
What are we doing today, Miranda?
Well, we have a special guest. Let's bring him in.
That's why I'm wearing headphones, so I can hear.
I thought it was a fashion statement. All right, bring his audio in. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Miranda.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm coming to you from Whidbey Island, Washington.
Very nice.
An island. That's cool. I don't think we've ever had a guest from an island before, Jason.
I don't think
We're
so.
on a peninsula.
So
Obviously, we're on a peninsula, but that doesn't count. So
it would take a pretty good-sized earthquake to make it an island, I imagine.
That's true.
And you're here to talk about your One Button Studio product, and I think this video explains it pretty well. So let's just roll this video, and then we'll come back to you.
Cool.
All right.
Okay,
Nice.
so that explained everything. I think we can close the
That's
show now.
I mean, a good video should really tell the whole story, right? So, but we can probably dig into some of the tech details as far as this goes. But yeah, essentially, it's designed to be a system that you dedicate a room to video recording, and it makes it really easy for the user to walk in with a thumb drive. They put it in, the lights come on. They have this green screen system. They can pick a background. They can pick a little logo bug. They step on the floor switch to start the recording. When their presentation is brought in behind them as well as a picture-in-picture, or you can actually go full screen behind you if you want to. So you have some cool options, and it all gets live composited and recorded, and then transferred back to your thumb drive as soon as you hit the stop button. And you walk away with a completely finished video that requires no editing whatsoever. So
that's awesome.
That is pretty cool. Let's talk about this control device. This looks familiar.
Yeah, it should. So this is the XK24. Is it XKE or XK? Am I saying that right?
XK24, you're right.
XK24. So this is just a handy little device that basically is controlling the system, and it allows the user just a set number of options. And so they can, there's a couple of graphics that are pre-built into the system. So when a school buys this system, they can go in and set these graphics to be whatever they want to be, like the school logo, the department logo.
That's cool. You're keeping it simple, giving them a limited number of options to just make it easy for them.
Right.
Yeah. So here we have a kind of a before and after. The top is what you see with the naked eye. She's standing in front of this gray screen, but the bottom is what the system is doing live and recording live. So you get your
So you're
presentation.
not, the first thing I notice is you're not using a green screen. What is this system?
So this is the Reflect Media system. So that gray screen is actually a retro-reflective background.
Wow.
So it's highly reflective. It's very similar to what you might see on sports clothing that reflects car headlights as you're out jogging at night or something, very similar to that. So it reflects light directly back at the source. And in this case, it's that green ring light that you see around the camera. So the camera sees this brilliant green screen, and then the system is able to key that out.
But you don't get the green reflection on your clothing or anything. That's really neat.
Yeah, so no spill.
Yeah.
So you can see in this picture down here, we've got the HD15 is an important part of this system because it allows us to trigger the studio lights and also the Reflect Media light ring around the camera. So we've got two relays here, one going to the light ring and the other going to the studio lights. And with this very cool X-Keys HD15, we could make all the magic happen.
Oh, so okay. So I thought it was just triggering the foot pedal, but you're actually running the studio lights and the ring light with it. That's pretty neat.
That's awesome.
You're taking full advantage of it.
Yeah. Very so it's we really couldn't have put this system together without these cool X-Keys devices. So.
Neat.
Nice.
Well, that's our 5 minutes on the bullet points. So we're gonna.
Is that 5 minutes, man? That went fast.
I know it goes so fast.
You gotta move when you're hanging out with this crowd. So we're gonna wrap this, but don't go away because we're coming back in the post show to dive into some more details.
Yep.
Very cool.
We'll be back. And we're back. Awesome.
All right.
I think we have some questions or comments here.
There's a lot going on here in the chat, so Tommy's being told to behave. I'm looking for an actual question that's relevant here.
When you say there's a lot going on, it's not necessarily relevant going on.
While I'm doing that, I know that we have this kind of weird backdoor relationship with Oliver from Mimo Live, in that Oliver was one of the founders of one of our best reseller in Germany, which is called GEBE. And so he started it, and I understand his brother-in-law is still making it work. So we kind of know him through that. Yeah.
So, so Oliver and his brother Achim work with their company is Boinks Software, and so I call them the Bradenbach brothers of Boinks. And they write this software application called Mimo Live, which is you could call it like a Mac-based equivalent of vMix. It has a lot of the same functionality. So yes, the answer is yes. That whole system is Mac-based. It runs on Mimo Live behind the scenes, which is a very cool piece of software if you like Macs. So I'm a big fan of it. I built this idea on a system that Pens 8 had put together called the One Button Studio. They had written their own application. And basically with their system, you're able to walk away with your recording plus a green screen behind you, which you then have to take and do post-production on and edit.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, you know what, with Mimo Live, I'll bet I could make this system do everything live and do the compositing, add in the presentation. I could do everything and just, have it so you could walk away with a completely finished video, and that would be so cool. So that was my goal, and it took me, I spent over a year on the whole development process.
Yeah, I believe I remember us discussing this at NAB, not this last one, but the one before, a little
Right.
bit with Oliver,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they did the X-Keys integration for you as well, didn't they?
So I currently don't have direct support in Mimo Live for the X keys.
Oh,
Although
okay.
that's like the next level. That's definitely on my wish list.
Okay. We'll poke on
But so,
Oliver and
so
get that for you.
I am using Controller Mate quite heavily
Ah,
in this system because that's emulating some keyboard shortcuts that I set up in Mimo Live to control the functions there. And then, of course, Controller Mate is also talking to the HD15 to trigger the lights. So, but the Boink Software, the guys there, Oliver and Ahim, they wrote some custom applications for me to make this whole thing work and to put it all together. And so they're just really good to work with, and it's been
Very cool.
It's been a fun project, and it's starting to get some really good attention. I just got another order this morning, which is great. That happened while I was actually chatting with Dan earlier this morning. I was like, "Hey, I just got a purchase order from this university in Tennessee. They just ordered one of these."
it must be our
Nice.
promotion of this
Has
live
to
stream
be.
must have done it
They
for you.
heard it was happening, and they thought we better get in on this.
We did
So,
have I don't know, a question or a comment from Tommy where he said the ring light is all you need, but I see you have other studio lights. Is that for the background?
so is this actually a question?
I'm not
So
sure if it's a question or a
I
statement.
think it's a question. I think it's a
Okay.
question. So, well, as far as the green screen, yes, all you need to light the green screen is the ring light on the camera. There are 2 other studio lights for lighting the subject. But yeah, the green screen does not need any additional lighting besides the green ring light on the camera. So hopefully that answers the question. So the product, you can see more about it at onebuttonstudio.info. And
bring it up.
on
Right
that
here.
page, if you scroll to the bottom of that page, you can actually see. Can you scroll down for me, Miranda?
Try and hang on. I lost my mouse.
Running the browser within vMix could be, I think you have to get over here to the screen to actually do it.
There we go. Okay, found my mouse again. Sorry, guys.
There you go.
Cool. So if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see that there's actually a link, a buy now link. That'll take you to the product page on the DVE store website where you can buy it.
Is this available in Europe?
So, well, we actually shipped our first one to a university in Iceland.
Oh, wow.
So, and
Cool.
I won't tell you the name of the university because I can't pronounce it.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, we can ship these anywhere. I know that the guys from Boinks are actually very interested in putting these together to supply them to European schools or whoever wants to purchase them over there. So
Very cool.
So we've got another question here.
Yeah.
Pressure pad be used under a rug? Well, it could be, but it's nice to know exactly where that button is so
Right.
that you can make sure that you're stepping on it.
Yeah.
If it's under a rug, it might, I'm thinking, if you had some kind of indicator on the rug to indicate exactly where the button is under the rug, if you're trying to just hide the cord, I could see that you could probably make that work out.
Yeah.
You can also get pressure mats that do the same thing in various sizes depending on how much you want to spend.
Right.
I've tested some of those with our switch interface. They work the same way. But yeah, I agree with having that button that, especially in this situation, this application you're using, where the presenter knows exactly where to stop to step to
Right.
start and stop it, I think is really useful.
Yeah. And so the software that is programming the button in this case is the ControllerMate software for the Mac. So yeah, which is amazingly flexible software. It's cool stuff.
Once you learn it, yes.
I'm not really sure about this.
What?
I see Miranda's name in there.
And Maggie's. Rudy will have to explain that. We have another one here from Didker.
No, you messed that up. I want to set up to send notification to staff if someone
Yeah, so that
walks
would
in
be
the
like
door.
an XKeys application.
Yep.
Mr. Burkhalter is one of our fans, and he's what he's doing with XKeys. Part of it is secret, but it involves brewing beer. So we like to keep him happy and as a good friend.
So he wants to know which staff is going into the room with the bar and getting drunk while they're working.
Exactly.
No, so I mentioned that we sold our first One Button Studio Plus to a university in Iceland, but we are based in the United States, so certainly available in the United States, absolutely.
This explains the previous comment.
Oh, so okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce that either.
Miranda
Daughter.
Maggie Daughter.
Maggie Daughter.
Awesome.
So I heard this story about Iceland and Greenland that apparently goes back to the Vikings, but and maybe you've heard this, but Iceland is actually very green, and Greenland is actually very snowy and icy.
It's very weird.
It was misinformation.
They were trying to trick people into going to the other place while they enjoyed the greener place. So.
It was early misinformation. Okay. And further explanation from Rudy. Daughter of.
Okay.
And
I believe it.
I would too, but what was this one?
Not a safe help him reverse.
Just because he doesn't have an S on it, probably.
Yeah, it just. I mean, I built it in WordPress. There's no, you don't actually do any purchasing right on onebuttonstudio.info. So that's something, I'll look into, see if I can somehow make that a secure site.
No.
Google warned us about that before they changed their tune there, that our previous site was not under HTTPS, therefore is going to be marked as unsafe.
I'll have to figure out what I can do there to make people more comfortable with with going there.
I just had to submit a few cases and it finally just went through.
I believe this is a reference to the Icelandic issue.
Gotcha.
Aha. We'll get to the bottom of this.
There we go.
Well,
right.
It looks like we've covered everything. This is a great product. We're going to be working with you to update those keys.
Yep.
Miranda's
some
get some custom keys on there. I'm definitely looking forward to that. It'll legitimize that a little bit. The pictures are all of, I basically printed those out and cut them out with scissors and stuffed them into those keys.
Well, it's a great way to figure your layout out first.
Yeah. So I do appreciate you guys and your help, and I know there's quite a bit of back and forth at one point about the HD15 and then with ControllerMate and getting some things worked out and making it all work. But it's exciting to see it happening and see it selling. So.
Rudy has a sharp eye here.
Rudy, you are correct. I did It's on the DVE Store YouTube channel. Yes, I was at a town hall in Whitefish, Montana, where I'd set up a bunch of PTZ Optics cameras with a vMix setup. So yes, you are correct.
And
That's
the
awesome.
X-Keys 124 T-Bar is running that system.
Yes, and that's actually when I made that video for you that you put on Facebook, the time lapse of the X-Keys T-Bar setup.
That that video, we've been promoting it since you gave it to us, and it's closing in on 1,000 engagements, not just views, but actual people liking it or wowing it or loving it.
Nice.
So that's performed very well for us.
It's pretty popular.
Yeah, we like that a lot.
Good deal.
Well, I see the usual nonsense and fun going on in the chat room, which is all good. But I'm afraid we have to go get back to work.
Yeah.
Wrap up our Friday. You're just starting your Friday out there on your island. So.
Sure. Yeah, it's 8:23 a.m. out here right now. So.
Well,
all right.
Thank you for getting up early and being on the show with us.
Yeah.
No worries.
We're gonna close the stream, but hang on for a sec. After we're all done here, Jason, I want to chat with you for just a minute about getting those keys done and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
While we're
all right. Thanks, Miranda. Thanks, Dan.
Yep. Thank
Everybody
you, Jason.
out there, bye.
Bye.
Thanks
See you
for
next week.
Watching with us, and we'll find something else interesting to do next week.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Bye.